Hi everyone, welcome to the CD Cave. I'm Jack Barrio. Today in this episode, I'll be talking about CDs that I purchased at one time or another and didn't really care for them. Listened to them once or twice, put them away, and that was the end of that. Uh, kind of like rediscovered them recently. Decided to give them a second chance and decided, well, a lot of these CDs I enjoyed. I'm not sure why I didn't like them back in the day, but maybe because I'm older today and appreciate music differently. I saw something in the music that I probably didn't see before. A lot of them didn't grab me back then, but today I enjoyed them. So that's what I'll be going through today. So I hope you stick around for the video. Um, if it's your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Maybe some albums that you didn't like when they first came out and that you do like today. Um, that'd be great. Um, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers too. Thank you for subscribing. And to get started, the first one today I like to show is Queen Hot Space, which I originally bought when it did come out, and I bought it for one song, Under Pressure, of course, and never really cared for the rest of them. Listened to it a few times, never really cared for it. I'd seen a couple of the videos, basically Body Language is a popular video at the time, and I really didn't really care for it. So I just put it away with my Queen and decided to give it a second shot there recently. And I was surprised on how good some of the songs are. Definitely not best Queen. A bit of a drastic change from their usual style, but still, it's a great listen. Staying Power is good. Dancer, Black Chat is good. Action This Day, Put Out the Fire, Life is Real. They're all good songs. Body Language is still the only song I'm not overly crazy about, but I'm glad I gave it another chance. Not Queen's best, but decent to throw in a CD player every once in a while and give it a listen. There's some good tracks on here. Another one that I avoided for a long time, I just actually picked it up recently. I just, for some reason, couldn't get into it, and it's one of my favorite artists. It's Jethro Tull and the Raps. I just didn't care for the sound of the CD at the time. I've kind of grown to overcome that sound. The fact that it's all drum machines and it's got a really 80s synth sound. Uh, it probably would be better if it had real drumming on it. Maybe one day they'll do that, re-release it that way. But there's some great songs on here. Lap of Luxury is great, Under Wraps, European Legacy, Radio Free Moscow is also great, Astronomy is a great song, Nobody's Car. Uh, it's worth checking out. I'm glad I gave it I've been streaming it for a while, trying to give it a chance, and I really started to enjoy it, so I ended up picking it up. It's hard to get. It could get pricey. I got a good deal on this one. It's the remastered version, and I'm glad I gave it another shot. It's not as bad as I originally thought it was. It's a pretty good disc. Another one that I picked up when it did come out, and I only picked it up for the one song. I only really listened to the one song. My friend had vinyl of this, and every time I go to his place, I drop the needle basically on one song, which was Don't Kill the Whale. Never really gave the rest of the album a chance because I heard the reviews on it. And recently, I saw a couple of videos on reviews on Yes albums and rankings, and kind of started thinking, oh, maybe I should pull this one out, give it another listen. And about a month ago, I decided to pull it out, give it a listen, and I was surprised. It's a lot better than what I thought it was. Future Times is a great song. Rejoice is great. Of course, Don't Kill the Whale is the one I only listen to. Madrigal, yeah. So Circus of Heaven's also good. So it's from 1978. I'm glad I decided to give this one a second chance. Like all these CDs. Now that I'm older, some of the stuff I didn't really listen to back then, I'm listening to now. I'm glad I did. Yes. Another one, probably the only one in their whole discography I really didn't get into at the time. And I did pick this up when it was brand new. Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy. I don't even understand the cover on this one. I couldn't figure out what the cover meant. None of the songs on here really grab me very much. Dirty Woman is the only one a little bit I listen to once in a while. So from 1976. Like I really like Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Paranoid, Sabotage. This one here is just I just could never get into it. Even the cover doesn't even look like a Black Sabbath cover. But recently pulled it out and decided, hey, I did a Black Sabbath ranking and saw it on my shelf and decided, you know what, I'm going to give this one a listen to. And yeah, some good songs on here. Rock and Roll Doctor is a good song. Of course, Dirty Woman's good. She's Gone. Black Street Kids is not bad. Gypsy's not bad. Yeah, so another one that I rediscovered that I enjoy now and never really gave a listen back then. Another one too that I did listen to a lot. I just didn't care for the sound that much. It's Drastic Measures by Kansas. I did enjoy the first John Elefante album with Kansas, Final Confessions. When this one came out, I liked the single, Fight Fire with Fire. The rest of the album was just too poppy for me. I had a hard time listening to it. I just didn't sound like Kansas to me. But the past couple of weeks, I've been listening to it a bit more because I've been getting into a lot of John Elefante solo CDs I've been listening to lately. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to pull the two that he did with Kansas. And I started liking a lot of the songs on here. They are a bit more poppy, but still some good songs. Andy's really good. Main Street, Everybody's My Friend's good. Get Rich, End of the Age, Incidents on the Bridge is also good. It's from 1993. So sometimes it is good to give things a second chance. You know, at one time, sometimes you don't like an album, and then years down the road, you end up liking it again for whatever reason. And that's what's going on with me, I guess. Drastic Measure. Another one that I really couldn't get into at the time, probably because of what came before it, but The Final Cut by Pink Floyd. And sometimes when you read reviews on albums and that, it makes up your opinion sometimes on the albums and that. Maybe that's what happened here. I really enjoyed The Wall, and there's really not any songs I really got into that really grabbed me off this album at the time. And it's been sitting around for a long time, and I picked it up a couple weeks ago, decided to play it, and I was surprised on how much it grabbed me more than it ever did before. Some of the songs really got to me. The Post-War Dream, Your Possible Past, One of the Few, The Hero's Return, The Gunner's Dream I really liked. The Final Cut is good too, the title track. Two Suns in the Sunset from 1983. I heard that a lot of the songs on here are throwaways from The Wall, but The Wall was such a good album, so you know, some of the throwaways couldn't have been that bad. And I do enjoy listening to this now. I finally figured out what it was all about, I guess. And I'm glad I rediscovered it. Yeah, Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. Next, an album that I did listen to quite a bit because my wife really likes this album, but took me a long time to get into it. And just recently I got into it. Tusk by Fleetwood Mac. This has come out as a double album at the time. Probably would have been better as a single album. The two albums that came before this are quite good. Excuse me. I just wasn't crazy about the Lindsey Buckingham songs on here. I just didn't find that they really fit. They didn't really sound like Fleetwood Mac. They would have been better on maybe one of his solo albums or something. But there are some good songs on here. Over and Over, The Ledge, Think About Me. Sarah was a big hit off this. Angel's not bad. Never Make Me Cry is a good song. Of course, Tusk is so-so for me. But not a bad album from 1979. Took me a long time to get into it. But I do like it more now than I did back then. I do play every once in a while. And I do appreciate it more. Another one that I never really figured out music from The Elder by Kiss. Just wasn't sure what they were trying to do here. I've given this album a lot of listens over the years, and I do come to appreciate it. Not one of the Kiss albums I listen to the most, but I don't think of it as bad as what I used to think of it. I guess The Oath is enjoyable. Just the Boys, not bad. Dark and the Light, Only You, Under the Rose, A World Without Heroes is probably the one I like the most on this. Escape from the Island. This is from 1981. It's not bad. It was a surprise to me when it came out. It was a little different. Kind of a concept album, I guess. But I do appreciate it more now than I did back then. The Elders by Kiss. Another one is Victim of Love by Elton John. A big Elton John fan. A lot of fans consider this like one of his worst albums. When I first originally heard this, I found it too poppy. But over time, it grew on me. Johnny Be Good, it's kind of a different cover, and I do like it. It's like 8 minutes long, so it's like double the length of the real song, even 3 times maybe. But good song. Born Bad is good. Thunder in the Night, Spotlight, Street Boogie, Victim of Love is pretty good. It's from 1979. It is very 80s sounding. A lot of synths in that. Definitely not one of Elton John's classic period albums. But I do enjoy listening to it more now than I did when they originally come out. And that's why I own it now, and it's in my discography. And I do throw it in every once in a while, and I do enjoy the songs on it. And the last one for this video is one that I really never got into up until just a couple of months ago. They put out a new CD, a new album recently called 6, which is really good, worth checking out. It's a really good album. But this one here, Waiting for the Punchline. At the time, I've listened to it over and over, and there's just nothing really grabbed me off this. I did like all their other CDs. This one here just didn't do nothing for me. So then I ended up, I went to the M3 Festival a few years back, and they played there. And so I kind of started thinking more about Extreme by seeing them play live. And so I started playing this album again because it's the album I was least familiar with. I played the least. And I ended up deciding there's some good songs on here to give it a chance. And definitely not their best album, but still worth listening. I enjoy listening to it now. And I do play every once in a while. Yeah, there is No One God is a good song. Tell Me Something I Don't Know is good. Naked is good too. Midnight Express, Leave Me Alone, Shadowboxing. It's not a bad album, not their best album, but I do appreciate a lot more today than I did back then. I'm glad I gave it a second chance. And from 1995, sorry. And yeah, so now I kind of go and pick whatever Extreme album I find them. I enjoy all of them. And yeah, so it's worthwhile sometimes exploring albums that you didn't like originally, to go back to them years later. And sometimes you'll find that you do like them now. And, you know, there's something you missed out on the first time. And at least now you get to hear them again in a whole different way and enjoy them. And so that's what this video is about. Maybe go back and check out some albums that you should maybe give a second chance to. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, take care of yourselves.